All right, what's good? What's popping? Every time when something stupid happens in the space, people would then turn around and talk about the death of the space, right? Like, even though what we consider to be the space or the black manosphere online community been died. And I say died almost a decade ago. But nonetheless, whenever something that is considered major in the eyes of the black manosphere happens, then people want to supposedly predict the death of an online space that has already died. And I don't know how many times I have to tell motherfuckers that this space been died. The online community that we consider to be the so-called black manosphere and even the manosphere in general have died years ago. The moment the space went from being an activist space, an activist online community, to a community to where people want to cry and complain about the modern day female, that's when the space died. This because what happened is now the conversations changed, thus the level of the level of intelligent conversations has gone down. So when the level of intelligent conversations within these online spaces have decreased, thus it led to more retards and stupid people coming on here and having an opinion and them actually having popularity within this space, which is no coincidence why this space is in the condition that it's in now. Dead. Okay? I mean, let's look back. A couple of months ago when Obsidian got officially banned from YouTube, people around started utilizing that to supposedly predict the death of the space, right? Something else happened before that. Um, I remember a few years ago when there was a online panel and this racist dude came on the panel. This racist Caucasian dude came on the panel and said some stupid shit about black people's IQ, how it's basically in a nutshell how they how black so-called black people are genetically predisposed to having a low IQ. He said something to that nature, and not enough people on the panel was able to actually combat that talking point. People then started predicting the death of the space, even though the space been died before that. And now you have two people. Well, not two people, one person. There's this guy from Fresh and Fit. I think Fresh. It's been exposed that he got a prostitute pregnant. He got a Chinese prostitute pregnant. He got a Chinese prostitute pregnant, and this prostitute is coming out online on social media and talking about that. And yet again, a lot of people are utilizing that to predict the death of the space, even though the space been died. It died before that, right? What you all these things that you see, that you've seen, all these past events that I've mentioned, including this event that I'm talking about now, this situation I'm talking about now, are just results of a space that already died. See, when something dies, right? When something dies, it starts to deteriorate, and you see all types of maggots start to form. So these events that I'm mentioning that a lot of you guys are well aware of are just the maggots eating at a deteriorating corpse, which is the manosphere space. That's it. So when it comes to this maggot, Fresh from Fresh and Fit, impregnating a Chinese escort, right? I mean, I don't have much to say about that. I don't really give a damn. I don't even know why something like that would be news. You know, it's just a lame nigga that got a lame bitch pregnant, and most likely this bitch is gonna come out having a lame ass child. I'm gonna feel sorry for that fucking child. You know what I'm saying? A dumbass nigga in a hole for parents. This child is going to have a hard life. That's really the only thing that my heart only goes to that child, that unborn child, because that child is going to have one hell of a hard life. Because them two motherfuckers are a bunch of fucking retards. You could tell. I mean, you could tell Fresh is a fucking retard, and you could tell that Chinese prostitute that he impregnated is a fucking retard too. I mean, the fact that this child is going to be born one day knowing that his or her mother was a fucking prostitute is painful in itself. You know what I'm saying? But anyhow, right? When it comes to these events, a lot of people always love to throw around how these manosphere spaces are dying or are dead when it been died. These are just like I said before, I'm sorry to repeat myself, but these incidents are just the end results of a dying space. Like I said, maggots eating away at a deteriorating corpse. That's what these events are. These are maggots eating away at a deteriorating corpse. So when you see maggots eating away at or forming within a deteriorating corpse, you're not going to say that the corpse is dying. You're going to acknowledge that the corpse been died. That's why the maggots are there. The maggots only appear at a deteriorating corpse once the body starts to deteriorate, and the corpse deteriorate after it dies. Right? We acknowledge that. So to say, what's up, spiritual logic, aka Hulk? What's up? What's going on? So the same thing goes here. Once again, the moment the conversation within these online spaces that we know as the manosphere, or mainstream manosphere, or the black manosphere, when the conversation turned away from being an activist space talking about the systemic issues that black men go through in society, or the systemic issues that men in general go through in society, to just people complaining about the dating market, or the ills of the dating market, that's when the online community known as the manosphere and or the black manosphere died. It died when the conversation lost substance. And you have a whole bunch of fucking awkwardly looking motherfuckers with absolutely no social skills, who are socially inept, coming online talking about how they can't get no pussy. That's when the shit died. And these niggas are the same ones who made these little weirdo stagnation creators popular and shit like that. Motherfuckers looking up to Tommy Sotomayor, motherfuckers looking up to weirdo motherfuckers like Obsidian and shit. Motherfuckers looking up to weirdos like O'Shea Duke Jackson and Angry Ho and this 65-year-old weirdo named Black Gnostic Speaks, this bitch ass nigga, you know, who openly admit to wanting to rape a grown ass man. You know, he openly admits to threatening to fuck a grown man in the ass, and these weirdo niggas still look up to him. See, the fact that the space has been so overly saturated with these types of awkwardly looking, socially inept, retarded motherfuckers. That's the fact. Because of that, people like BGS could have some sort of relevant in life. Because the internet is the only place where a loser like BGS is fucking relevant. Spiritual logic says, true, bro. Sadly, many only think in terms of views and not the rejection of logic. The death of logic and masculinity is the death of that sector of the space. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And what caused the death of logic? When people started to go away from having actual conversations of substance when it comes to systemic issues that people are facing, to talking about the ills of the modern dating market, right? Like that fucking matters. When people start complaining about not being able to attract the same types of females that they admit are a liability to their lives. They crying and complaining about not being able to attract. When niggas start crying and complaining about not being able to attract the types of females that they know are no good, that's when this space died, because the substance died. So when you see an online community that lacks or rarely has conversations of substance, that online community is already dead. I don't know how motherfuckers are waiting for all these stupid ass events to then talk about how the space died. Nigga, nigga, space been dead. And because the space died, because the space been dead, right? Due to a lack of people actually speaking about topics of substance and actually being politically involved to actually change, to actually creating change in society for so we could have a better future, especially for black boys. These stupid events are going to keep happening. These so-called Jerry Springer or Maury Povich like events, these different these different soap opera like events, these different sex scandals or pregnancy scandals or all this dumbass shit that's going on is going to keep happening because it's a result of a space that has already died. So when something has already died, but it's still, but this dead thing is not yet buried, right? It's going to be cases after cases after cases when you see a domino effect of fucked up shit happening. I mean, lame ass niggas such as Fresh and Fit in the perfect world should have never gained any level of fucking popularity whatsoever. But being that social media is the home of lame niggas, and you know, lame niggas, they stick together. So birds of the same feather flock together. Thus, they gravitate towards motherfuckers like Fresh and Fit, where you got two lame ass niggas that could go on the internet and pretend to actually be masculine men of substance and pretend that they have some sort of knowledge and know-how to teach your lame ass how to be a man of substance too. That got you lame niggas gravitating towards these motherfuckers. And not being able to use discernment to see through how lame these niggas are. How these niggas are sitting there lying to your stupid ass. Your stupid asses, man. Niggas is dumb. But the thing is, this online community should have never attracted these types of lame ass niggas. This online community should have never attracted these socially awkward or these socially inept ass niggas in the fucking first place. If only niggas stuck to the actual mission of the space, which is to be activists, which is to speak about the systemic issues that, as far as the black manosphere is concerned, the systemic issues that black males go through economically, socially, and politically, and utilize this online space to bring like-minded people together so they could meet face to face to actually fix the systemic issues that black males go through and create change for a better tomorrow, then there would have been no real room for these lame ass niggas to come into this space and actually ruin this fucking space. But once the conversation got away from having actual, real, legitimate, and substantial conversations about confronting the systemic issues that black men go through, to then crying about the dating world or some shit, that's when these lame niggas was able to come through, because these lame niggas are able to relate to being rejected in the dating world, in the dating world, right? So they're able to come through and oversaturate these spaces with this retarded shit. What's up, Azure Saints? What's up? And once it died, once the space died, that's when you saw all sorts of scandals starting to pop up. You know, homeboy talking about, one scandal with homeboy. I forgot homeboy's name, when he started going and when he went online and bragged about fucking a damn teenager when he was 30 something years old. And he was able to brag about it because he understand how lame his audience is, how his audience will just eat that up and just make excuses for him. Because the conversations in space have lost and have lost any type of substance whatsoever. These weirdos could come in and start having these weird ass conversations. Such stupid and weird conversations as removing women's rights, which will never happen in America. These niggas wish that America turned into modern day Afghanistan, where the Taliban has returned into power and have removed women's rights, and think that that's and they think that removing the rights of females is the only way they could get some pussy. That's really why a lot of these weirdos actually buy into that fucking talking point and actually promote it. And actually are stupid enough to actually think that this is going to solve their fucking issues, when in reality it won't. Because in reality, especially as so-called black males, if America actually does remove the rights of females, what makes you think they won't go further into opening Pandora's box and removing your rights also? Because I said this in a prior video, that females in America, although they realistically make up the majority in American society, but by law, they're viewed as a minority. Like females have a minority status, even though they make up the majority of the American population, but nonetheless, they have a minority status. Therefore, by law, females are considered a minority in the United States. So if the United States government are able to remove the rights of one minority, what makes you think they won't go further into removing the rights of another minority, which is your black ass, you dumb motherfucker? But since a lot of you niggas are so fucking pussyless, you don't use your brain to actually think about that, which goes back to Spiritual Logic's statement that he made in the chat where he says the rejection of logic. You motherfuckers reject logic, therefore you never thought about that when you co-sign the removal of women's rights. Now, I'm no fucking feminist when I say that, but I do object to the removal of anyone's constitutional rights. No, everybody in America deserve their constitutional rights. They deserve their freedom. Male, female, black, white, red or blue, Jew or Gentile. I don't give a fuck who you are. Everyone has a right to have their everyone deserves their constitutional rights to be acknowledged and respected. And to actually co-sign that a group should have their rights removed is fucking is ludicrous in my mind. But nonetheless, these are the types of stupid ass conversations that a lot of these weirdos have came into the space with as a result of the space turning away from having real legitimate conversations of significance. Instead of so-called black males speaking about the ills or the corruption of the justice system, which is responsible of many innocent black males going into prison and being incarcerated for crimes that they did not commit, and confronting these types of issues. Niggas want to talk about the goddamn sexual market value. Like, what the fuck is that? Sexual market value. That shit don't even make any goddamn sense. This is some made up shit. Sexual market value. Instead of niggas coming on here and having real legitimate conversation, talking about how to help improve the public education system of the United States and improve it to the point that more males within the education system actually graduate and get a decent education and actually going into college, right? We want to talk about dumbass shit such as hold on for a minute. Let me hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. right, guys, I gotta bounce. All right, I gotta bounce. I have something to do. So, all right, peace out.